Hello, my name is Logan from Dynamic Arts, and I am the creator of this Rebecca pistol from Cyberpunk Edgerunners. This is going to be a tutorial slash demonstration video so that you guys can see exactly how this model works. I received a lot of feedback from my last model stating that I needed to go more in depth into how to assemble this, so this video is going to be a bit longer, but hopefully it should cover everything in how to assemble this model 100%. Obviously, these are what the model should look like once you're done. This is my oldest prototype. As you can see, it even still has this little screw hole. This is the working model. This is a low tolerance version that I printed and painted, and because of that, it actually doesn't move forward all the way. But the one that I'm going to be making is a high tolerance model that I am going to be spray painting later. So let's jump right into it. First thing you're going to want to do is to glue your slide together. Now, I have a piece here to demonstrate what could happen if you're not careful when removing the supports. If you see right there, there's supposed to be a notch there for the spring, and if you are reckless while pulling off the supports, this piece might come along with it. So just make sure that you go in with the snips. You're very careful snipping it off and then just peeling off the supports once you're done. So once you have this piece glued together, you can put in the spring. Now the spring goes top side first. What I like to do, since this is a little tricky, I like to hook it around here, and then once I've hooked it somewhat, I'll go in with my screwdriver and I'll try to push it down. This is a little bit tricky, but it's definitely the hardest part of making this model. So as you can see, I'm pushing it down with the screwdriver. Come on. There we go. And now once it's in there, you should have a really hard time if you ever want to take it out. So the next piece you're going to want to grab is this base piece. This has already been put in with an inset nut. There are 3 insets you're going to be using for this model. Instead of my old model's 7 insets, you're going to be using 2 5x6 M3 millimeter inset nuts and a singular 5x4 millimeter M3 inset nut. This one is going to be the former, the longer one, and I will tell you when you need the next ones. So once you have this piece in, what you're going to want to do is get your spring holder and your hammer and place these 2 inside of here, like that. Then you're going to want to put this right on top, sitting into that little notch. Next, you're going to want to grab your little trigger piece. Now, I've printed here 2 models to show if your printer prints a little bit bigger than scale, you might want to scale down this trigger piece. So this piece, oh no, I'll have to put that back in later. This piece is a little bit tighter when it comes to this, but I scaled this one down to 98% and it's a bit looser. So just experiment with whichever one should fit better. Find something that's a little bit tight but not too tight that it stops you from moving, because you want this piece to be able to move freely. So once you have that piece in there, you're going to want to drop in your little hammer lock. And these pen springs that I like to use for inside of here, I like to cut the tip off of this one. As you can see, this one has a tip here, but no tip here. I like to cut it off because it's a little bit too long for what I use it for. So with my snips, I'll cut it off, and then you want to anchor the spring in like that. Make sure that it sits nicely inside of here, that it's not jammed before you put it together, like that. And then make sure that you put in your magnets. A little drop of glue will stop them from rattling while they're inside here. So, trigger. And then the second pen spring. And now once you have all this set up, you can put the other half right on top, like that. Just jiggle it into place until you hear it click. And then you're gonna go in with your M16 screws. This model needs 3 M16 screws. That's it. So this is going to be one of them. And at this point, you can test to see if the model is working. In which case, mine is. So now I'm going to put this spring back in here since it fell out. I've actually never had it fall out on me before. This is the first time. And I've had to build this model like 7 times now, so. Yeah, got it back in. So next thing you're gonna want to do is grab your small little attachment pieces. This is the sight, and then this is this weird little attachment piece. It slides in right here on the bottom, holding this part together. And the trigger has, or the sight, my bad, has a smoother side and a chunkier side. Chunkier side goes on the back. Make sure to clean this up because any foreign materials will make this really hard to push in. And then just slide it in like that. Then you're gonna have the bottom Picatinny, which will go right here, pushed in like that. And the next piece you're gonna want to get is your front piece. This also is using the 5x6 M3 inset. So you're gonna want to slide that right there and then hook this spring around it like that. Then with the barrel, this is gonna use the 5x4, the little smaller one, since this is a little bit smaller. So this piece goes in, sliding right there. And then this other front piece will sit right on top. Then you can grab a second M16. I can grab a second M16. Put it right in through the top. Tighten that. And then push down on the barrel. Slide this one inside here. And tighten this one down here as well. There you go. So these pieces, which I think we've already left on here, just snap on just like that, as you can see. Sometimes they press fit. This one is nice and tight and it does press fit, but sometimes they're very loose. This one's very loose. So a little drop of glue might help as well in that regard. Lastly, you're gonna want to glue your mag together, remember with the magnets inside, and that is it. That's my Rebecca pistol model. So every color, as you can see, every part that is printed in a different color is a separate piece. So if you want to print with multiple colors, you won't have to use your AMS in order to do so. If you want to paint, same thing goes. You won't have to put any tape on here to prevent it from getting colors in weird spots. These little circle pieces, they go right there. I'm not gonna put this in because it is a little bit of a pain to get out once you've put it in. But a small drop of super glue will keep those right inside there. So I hope you enjoy my Rebecca pistol, and happy printing.